still make me scream this way. But anyway, let's get it. Y'all already know what time it is by the title. So, are you prepared? Y'all already see what time it is, man. It ain't no fear mongering, John. It's just asking straight up. You know what I'm saying? We finna start seeing a whole bunch of different type of, I'm gonna wait till you get into the video deep. But either way, y'all already know, man. If you're new to the channel, this channel where we talk about the spiritual truth and how you utilize energy on a day-to-day basis, man. So y'all already know, man, we got to talk about that energy, how it's get utilized in the upcoming future too. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes we got to do something like, knowing how they're gonna use the times and looking at what they got now. So it's kind of like just using sense to see where the next step gonna be at. So when it comes down to things, when it come down to getting things set, when we start getting, I want y'all to understand act to it so you can bring it to actual exist. It don't matter what it is. You get what I'm saying? They'll make a version of it. So even just say for instance, if you've seen a humanoid or whatever, just saying for it could be it possibly could be just, a person that got some type of weird chemical reaction or whatever. You never know. Or was got to something and it morphed their body, however. So before we even get into it, we gotta understand we talking about science or how they have to create narratives or how they got to control things. So it's gonna be always that person that know how to switch it up. So before even getting into it, because I already know how they like to do it in the beginning, if I already go too deep, y'all already know, man. But anyways, just thinking about everything, about like everybody starting to get hemp to everything, right? Of just looking at how the agents getting pulled apart. Yeah, and y'all, this is what I mean by that. This is whole spiritual warfare. So you got to look at how the agents getting pulled out, how a lot of people starting to pay attention to certain things in the media, how people starting to see how the narratives gets turned and stuff. Now it's still gonna be those people that get lost. But do y'all remember as a point in time where it was getting past like a lot of people? I darn sure do about 6 years ago. You get what I'm saying? When like a whole bunch of stuff was passing by people's head and they weren't really thinking about it like that. But now that people starting to get aware due to the situations, sometimes it be their stability because a lot of times people get comfortable, and when they get comfortable with something, they be okay with it. But then when they start getting uncomfortable, now they start trying to figure out a way out of something. So it's the same thing that brings us to what we got today. As we see how the world going and how things like that got going on. But the thing I want to talk about most is, are you prepared for what could be used against you? You know what I'm saying? So further is like what we looking at right now. You got AI, but now AI has, I'm gonna just say, upgraded even more to now it's like definitely hard to tell from when something is real or when something is AI. It's like getting real, good at that. So this could have been something used for good. This could have made very good movies. So instead of the movies, what I'm saying, looking all fake and stuff like that, the movies would have came out looking super realistic because you have this new program AI. But that's not how it works, guys. Y'all already know what time it is. So now when it's time to, start playing frauds and stuff like that on people, now they done created a lane where they could do this openly and just blame it because of AI. You know what I'm saying? Like everything they do is going to be because of AI. So this is the next way of blaming something. You know how they did with the like, tax system and stuff like that, and always blame taxes and always blame the Americans for being, not having the money or always owing another country. You know how they always been playing that same thing? It's always a trick. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got to remember this. NASA get paid for selling you stories. So these people won't make money if they can't sell you stories about them, with their space stuff. You know what I'm saying? You don't know nothing about space. You have to go through everything from them. So even if you're just looking at it from our perspective, that ain't good enough. For some reason, we have to know what's going on in space. You get what I'm saying? Where we can't even handle our Earth. So when it comes down to Earth, we got to get to it because, everybody's starting to see with the fake food agendas. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's starting to see how they try to, put people in boxes and stuff like that, where further is people picking politics or picking being some religions and stuff like that. People started him to throw that all junk up. You know what I'm saying? People don't want to be part of that no more because they seeing what it lead to. Like I just broke down the other day. How can you be part of a religion and don't understand it's just like a football team? Sometimes your team wins, sometimes your team lose. But the way it get looked at with y'all is no losses between none of the teams. So y'all don't see which team is better. So y'all steady have arguments amongst each other. So you never got a right to it. Only thing I do is give y'all, each one of y'all, a piece of truth, and it could be 12 religions and all 12 bumping heads trying to say who's the truth and what is the truth. What is the true Messiah name and all this, that, there. Things wasn't categorized and things wasn't named like that. That's part of that colonizing mind that made everybody come here and try to name different things and try to make it that one thing gonna be named everywhere else. So this is how we get the same stuff as our Bible. You know what I'm saying? Your Bible is not from America. I have to remind people that. I don't know why people put in their mind that the Bible is for America. So out the gate, no matter if you white or black, the Bible wasn't meant for you. You know what I'm saying? If you was American, period. So automatically it was made in India. So if you don't understand how it was taught on the East, they brought it to you and westernized it. Basically just turned the words into something that you could understand. That's why they gave you the public school systems, so you could understand how they got these certain techniques working. So basically they gave you the screen so you could continue tracing the screen until you run into the trap or until you fall into a booby trap. You get what I'm saying? It's like that type of stuff. And that's how they get us with the religion, the politics, the entertainment, the business, the education, all that stuff. You know, they try to get us into one of these things because you have to have the mind of not caring about others. You got to have the mind of not mattering about destroying somebody. What's good, Matt? And that's the reason how it play out. What's good, Hayes? So, man, you already know how it goes. So at the end of the day, you will see how these people like to play these things out. So they like to put everybody against each other. Y'all got to mind y'all, this is not the first time this happened. This is the reason why they don't like to talk about Native American history. You know what I'm saying? Like the Winterpark War, the Beaver War. You know, that's the war that they had, the fur. And if y'all don't know, that's why Christopher Columbus created his ship for them to come have the little fur trades and stuff. I appreciate that subscribe, dog, for real. So when you starting to see stuff like this, and I already broke it down, y'all, but I will show y'all proof if y'all want to still. And just the reason why, just Google this for me, y'all, while I'm online, so you can true fact me or whatever. When it come down to the public education system, it was only created for us to know how to read their rulings and how for us to be obedient to them and for us to understand basically their religion. That's it. Go look it up. It wasn't for us to, you know what I'm saying, try to build and try to, for us to be individual thinkers or critical thinkers. So they taught us how to not use common sense no more. Just like the other day I had to break down. They taught us to believe in man more than the actual God. So instead of us knowing about Earth and instead of us knowing about how the sun and the moon operate, a lot of people don't know that. That's why they don't know why the 7 days of the week. You know what I'm saying? 7 days. So the 7 different suns of the week. You got which sun on Sunday? You got the son of Jesus, how y'all like to say it, on a Sunday. So then on Monday, you got the moon day. So then on Tuesday, you got Mars day. So then on Wednesday, you got Mercury day. Thursday, you got Jupiter day. Friday, you got Venus day. Saturday, you got Saturday. You get what I'm saying? So it's the same thing, but it's just like people can't even break down that concept of watching the sun. So what they do is get lost into anamorphizing things and thinking that everything is supposed to be about humans. You get what I'm saying? So they'll start telling you right up, oh, Jesus was a walking person. No, Jesus is the man in the sky. The man, the image, the light above in the sky. You get what I'm saying? That's what it is. It'll never forget you. It'll never forsaken you. That's how you're able to tell the day from the day. And if you think the sun not important, how you think evolution works? How do you think you grow from a baby to adult? How do you think a plant go from a seed to a plant? You get what I'm saying? So you have to understand that the sun and the moon was way more important than what any man could have taught you. But yet they taught you away from that. You get what I'm saying? So you don't understand how your chakra system relates with the earth. Why y'all think a lot of people right now is losing their mind? Why you think a lot of people is going through some chaotic times? It's like they know what they're doing. Not only do they control the weather, but they control the weather from a mental realm. We talking about 6-dimensional demons. They can't go to the 7th dimension because they can't drop the weight of the masses that want to control people and want to and don't want to steer their emotions. So they be hurt. And what they do is take it out on other individuals. Why you think basketball players play that hard just in order to have 10 good years left in them? And if they don't hurry up and go find something to do, then they're going to go broke. But the person that own that stadium, they could quit working the rest of their life and be paid and take the craziest vacations and all until they dead. You know why? Because they're getting billions while they pay the other ones millions. So every game and all that actually counts. So when we talk about how they build a branding, they even come behind it. They even get sponsorship from Nike, Coca-Cola. It's like they homeboys backing them up. So they're like, bro, you run out of money, bro, I got you, bro. We're going to give you some money and you're going to come back up. So that's how it worked with the business. But when we talk about big corporations, that's how it is against us. They got each other back. You know why? They took oaths amongst brotherhoods. It's just like a fraternity. Now, what we haven't did was took oaths amongst each other. So we don't have that trust in each other. We'll rather trust a doctor just because they have this certificate. Not because they're trying to get more money by giving us this vaccine or this antidote. No, we'll sit there and go against our people just because this person has a degree. You get what I'm saying? Y'all don't even understand. Masonic, 33rd degree Mason, before the degrees stop, that don't mean it's the highest rank. But so before we even go into that, we got to go ahead and talk about the deepness of the white and the black. So even when you look into a Masonic lodge, period, when you see this black and the white, just look at it as the day and the light, the day and the night. So when y'all understand why they have a moon crescent or have a sun somewhere, a sun this, they know the truth about what's going on within this certain division, but you don't. And it's important for you to keep steering the wrong way. So as long as you're doing that, you showing them that they're doing a good thing. So a religious person to get up and be like, yeah, I told them, you see, God is right. And they'll be like that, like, see, yeah, I told you, I'm finna hurry up and push this person up in the algorithm because they pushing that bullshit to everybody. And we need everybody lost. So let's hurry up and make them lead the people to the blind. You say everybody subscribe to this guy. Like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. But yeah, man, either way, man. So before we even get into it, I don't know what Zuri talking about. It probably just a bot because they ain't even hearing anything. So you gotta start thinking. You gotta start listening to what's going on. Because we got a lot of people that's ignorant as hell. So because a person's brain level or capacity can't reach a certain stage, they go to throwing insults. You get what I'm saying? Like they can't do nothing else. Like, think about it. If you don't have no other category of how to use words, how to use common sense, how to make things make sense, you're gonna be one of those ones that's like, being a bot. So at the end of the day, these people don't understand that. So I cut them up, make them out of an example, show you how they're an agent without them signing no contract. So you're an agent that works for the Masons and you don't even get paid and you're not part of the Brotherhood. So you don't get no cut on no business, no percentage or no money, no nothing. You just up here trolling me for free. And then help me with a view. Thank you. You know what I'm saying? Like, just like how NWA hit y'all with them when we bought the album, they still bought it. So it don't matter if you threw it to the ground. You still clicked on it. You still helped the algorithm. Thank you. So let's keep it going, man, because you always got them trolls and the people that ain't got it all. And that's one thing about it, y'all. We ain't looking for everybody to be woke. We ain't looking for everybody to be on the right side. And what I mean by woke is the woke, when I explain it, just like in that description. I'm talking about the subconscious community. That woke junk, that conscious junk, that just somebody being aware of what the hell that means. We all aware. The sun told us that. So you just seeing something, that means somebody could have said, yeah, I seen it. I did, though. I ain't gonna cap, Cam. That junk was hideous, Cam. I ain't gonna lie to you, Cam. I went through the same thing. I ain't gonna cap with you. I got some x-rays, boy. Y'all don't want to see it. So make sure y'all stay tuned anyway, man, because that's how my testimony popped up. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. When you face death, bro, you ain't gonna see no humans and none of that junk there unless you had that in your mind real deep and installed that it's humans and stuff when you die. Because that ain't how it work, bro. That ain't even how eternal life work. That don't even make sense. How can you have eternal life if you die and you go off and you don't get no other life? Y'all don't even think like that. You don't think like, okay, you're going to lose his mind and body, but you're going to be still the same spirit. So as a spirit, you expand and collect. You get what I'm saying? So you expand and contract on yourself. Like, people don't think like that. So as a spirit, that's why you have, when you see a kid, let me give y'all a perfect example. You ever seen that kid that was way smarter than the group of kids? And it's like that kid just smart, period. It ain't even about the group that is around. That's one of those kids that we'll say got an old soul. That's what it mean, an old spirit. This child done been here before. People start saying stuff like that. You wonder why you say stuff like that. That's why, because this child have a collective conscious of being able to remember who they is. Y'all ain't never heard of star seeds? Have y'all ever heard of star seeds? Do y'all know that we are the stars as the people? You know what I'm saying? That ain't got nothing to do with them talking about the stars that we see and that they taught us called stars. That ain't got nothing to do with that. Them ain't stars, them diamonds. Just like you say your diamonds bling, a star bling, twinkle, all that stuff. Diamonds twinkle too. Do you know that? Do you know if you take a satellite, take it 1,000,000 feet in the air, just type that in, what it look like, it's going to tell you a star? So they'll tell you it's a star, but it depends on how you search for it. So it ain't about what, it ain't about you. It ain't about what you search. It's about how you search it. So you got to know what you're doing. So if you come in with a certain bias, like, is Jesus a man? Yeah, they'll say yeah. But you didn't know that man before your Bible that you got. Man meant thought or image. Yes, Jesus is the image. That's why I say in God's image. What you think give us more image than anything in the world? The sun. Like, you get what I'm saying? It's like, man, it's like, I can't even see how people are lost right now. It's like, if somebody is still lost and stuck in a religion right now of thinking that Jesus is some God that's hovering around in the sky with a jetpack on, without a jetpack, that it don't make no sense. You get what I'm saying? So that's how it goes, man. So when we talk about stuff like that, it just to show us where people mind at, man. They done killed us. All they did was gave us like things like TikTok, YouTube shorts, stuff like this where you want everything to be fast. You ain't got time to actually input the message and try to pick the tools up of how to get the same answers. You get what I'm saying? Without you getting the answer from me. So that's how it works. It's like a real mechanism of helping somebody tap on their brain, their subconsciousness, and bringing them back from but with that consciousness before they conscious. So before you even got in this body, them consciousness before then. So help you remember those times from before then. So like I said, this is a subconscious community. Welcome to it. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't meant for it, you've been on Kid Rocks. But if you meant for it, even if you being a clown or even being a troll, if you sit around long enough, you'll learn something. You get what I'm saying? More than what you learned in your damn Bible. So when you talk about the 12 disciples, think about the 12 hours of the day. When you talk about the 12 candles, think about the 12 hours of the night. So when you talk about the 12 tribes of Israel, think about the 12 hours of the day. or the 12 hours that we experience today, and gave 2 hours to each day, which let you know the day and the night to each sign. So this letting you know how far it goes. You got 6 masculine signs, 6 feminine signs. The feminine signs represent the dark. The masculine signs represent the light. So even when you're looking at the big light, when it breaks down, it's going to zodiacs. So they don't understand how zodiacs are evil, but yet you need to know this knowledge and understand how they work, because they're not all the way evil. Do y'all know Naruto? And that's the reason why I like to break down stuff like this, because they show you in your face. They show you that Naruto was labeled that a demon was put in his stomach, but later on that same demon saved their whole world. You get what I'm saying? So it get deep. Like you thinking it was a demon. No, it wasn't a demon. It was his inner self, where he didn't know how to control of himself. So when he came into his conscious, talked into his higher self, went into his higher chakras instead of being grounded into his lower ones all the time. And that in all of them you need. That's why you have them. God went and gave you something you didn't need in that case. So let's get to it. You know what I'm saying? So when it bind, or when he learned how to unlock all of them, this is him being who he is. This is someone becoming truly subconscious. You know what I'm saying? Starting to understand their past lives. So this is why they say the 6 sage paths or whatever. So he understanding the paths of the sages, or the spirits that came before him, that was Hokages or whatever before him. So this is just another way of just saying his ancestry spirits, which at the end of the day could just be him, versions of him before the death of him and the rebirth. You get what I'm saying? But y'all don't understand that, because you got birth, life, death. This the spirit realm, this the mental realm, this the physical realm. This is the reason why this is the most dense realm. This is the most heaviest realm. You can see everything. You get what I'm saying? So when something is more light or something is less dense, it's harder to see. So this is the reason why they play this with a ghost in a movie, or have it that somebody could walk through a wall, because they're less dense. It's not about them saying a person that died actually looked like that. And I have to break this down, because they're trying to give you the energy of who that person was. So if you're looking at the movie as the representative, as the viewer, you're looking at what goes on. You're looking at a person, you know, that person that died, they're trying to show you that's still that person. If they didn't show you that was still that person, it'd just be nothing there. But the way that people mind compute things, they start thinking that ghosts and all that stuff real. Start thinking aliens real, and then sometimes you got to ask people if they're on drugs. Because a lot of these people be on mushrooms and stuff like that, and they think these things make them woke. No, that thing put holes in your brain. No way that make you woke. You get what I'm saying? That's all it is, man. So when it comes down to a lot of stuff like this, we got to just start paying attention and start just picking up, just using common sense. Okay, how is it that my great-great-great-grandfather paid taxes and we still owe? How is it that we've been paying taxes and money to y'all the whole time, but yet somehow y'all ran out of money? How is it that we kicked out everybody y'all told us to kick out, and y'all did it? We didn't even have no rights over it, and then now the price of living, the cost of living still went up. The jobs still had mass layoffs. That y'all don't see the agenda? Like, look at it, bro. If we getting replaced by AI to the point that they might not even use movie actors no more. So if you're an actor and was going for an actor, even going to school for it, you might want to switch things up. You get what I'm saying? Because you might not be able to be the actor no more. Just because they'll be able to talk to this